What's going on, guys? Welcome to the Broken Tables podcast. I'm your host, Jeffrey Vegas, here as always with our co-host, King Rome. How you doing tonight, sir?
I am doing absolutely incredible.
I bet you are, sir. I bet you are doing absolutely fan-fucking-tastic.
I absolutely am. The world, I was at work this morning, and, when I work early enough, I can catch the sun. When I tell you it was the most beautiful sunrise, Juhas himself visited me during the sunrise this morning when I was at work. And I was like, you see this sunrise? This is just the most beautiful sunrise I may have seen in a long time.
Yeah, man. For those of you who didn't hear, Cody Rhodes has had his WrestleMania spot stolen by The Rock once. I mean, I wouldn't say once again for him, but The Rock has stolen somebody's WrestleMania spot once again.
So here's the. I have some things that I would like to say. Firstly,
Purple hates it too, Nat. She hates it tremendously.
So where do we want to start? I guess let's go back in time. Let's go back to the Royal Rumble. Right? Cody Rhodes wins the Royal Rumble. He's standing there in the ring. The Rock does not come out. Cody points up at the Mania sign, does the whole gimmick like a fucking geek. And then he moves his hand over, points at the tribal chief, Roman Reigns. And I'm like, oh man, they're actually gonna get this right. They're finally gonna get it right. I've enjoyed myself for at this point years. But all good things must come to an end. So the way I'm looking at it, it's packing it up, taking the L. It is what it is.
Right.
But then, as if from on high, the answer to all of my problems showed up.
If you smell. Oh, man.
Oh, God. So, Dwayne Johnson, The Rock, the People's Champ, comes out. Well, no, actually, he doesn't even. Let's back it up a little. So, Cody Rhodes comes out on Monday Night Raw following me, or the Rumble, and he says, I'm going to make my decision. As if he already did not make the decision clear enough at the Rumble. You point to Roman, you assume he's going to go for Roman. I guess in hindsight, he was, oh, look, Roman's up there watching me win. Hi, Roman. But Cody Rhodes is in the ring and Seth Rollins is out. And Seth is like, you don't want that title, Cody.
A Hollywood title?
You want my title. And Seth's reasoning is just the weirdest thing, right? Where he's just like, that's the Hollywood belt. This is the Dusty Rhodes. This is the belt you want. And, I'm on Twitter and I'm watching these clips and I'm listening to this, just like, oh my God, they are actually going to do the Cody's not going after Roman. They're really doing it. And Cody's like, all right, well, whatever. I'll be there on SmackDown on Friday. And I'm like, okay, clearly, like, it is the easiest slam dunk layup in the world. Just have Cody do the match, right? Against Roman.
Absolutely, yep.
And so, like, I'm just like, there's no way. Like, they're just trying to draw this out a little bit. Like, I know that Punk got hurt at the Rumble, and that messes up the plans with Seth, but, like, no. There's no way. There's no way that Triple H could get even this, right? Little did I know. Oh, me of little faith. I forgot that, many would say that Triple H, Booker of the Year. And I clearly did not respect Triple H's game. Because, what we are getting for WrestleMania is it's money. It's absolute money. It's the right thing to do. But so anyways, we get to SmackDown. Cody comes out. Roman actually put a pause on the Cody stuff because I actually do want to talk about Roman's promo real quick. I don't know who okayed this promo from Roman.
He just
Not
shit on that world title, dude. Wow.
not that like here's the thing. The promo wasn't bad, right? Like obviously, sure everyone wants me to shit on Roman. I'm not doing that. Roman is the least of the problems right now. I'm acknowledging the tribal chief, right? This is where we're at. Like I'm acknowledging, right? But so Roman comes out, completely fucking buries Seth Rollins, which like nasty stuff. He mentioned Seth by name, no pop. Roman comments, "Wow, no pop. That's all you need to know about Seth." Holy shit!
Yeah.
And then he completely and like I can understand wanting to bury Seth. You know, they do have history. They have. I don't know who okayed Roman Reigns burying their other world title.
He
I'm not sure.
destroyed it.
I'm not sure who was like, all right, Roman, sounds good. Go out there and just shit on this belt in our company. Like, could you imagine if the AEW World Champion, if Samoa Joe was like, man, that Christian Cage, he's a fucking loser. That championship is dog shit. I wiped my
Yeah.
ass.
I'd
Like,
be
what do you
furious.
right? It's like, what are you doing? You're just burying your own company. You're burying your own champions. What are you doing?
Yeah.
And so that happens. Cody comes out, and I'm like, okay, here we go. He's gonna finish his story, right? And so I knew that Rock was in Alabama. People knew. It got around that people were saying like, oh man, The Rock is gonna be. He's in Alabama, which is where SmackDown was. Maybe he'll be at SmackDown.
Michael
And you
Duke
know what?
says The Rock will be the tribal chief, period.
I support. I absolutely support this, Michael.
I'm in
I
too.
would love to see. It's really ironic to me that in 2024, I grew up a known Dwayne hater for most of my life. I have never loved and appreciated Dwayne The Rock Johnson more than I do right now, in this very moment, right?
I was gonna say, don't give Triple H very much credit. It sounds like The Rock was like, no, this is what's gonna happen now. You know what I mean?
I hear you, and I understand what the reports are saying, but he's still the booker. It still ends with
Yeah, yeah.
But anyways, I mean, if anything booking wise happens in AEW, even if it's not his idea, Tony Khan gets the blame.
That's
So
true. That's true.
hey man, fair
Good
is
point.
fair.
Good point.
So Cody comes out. Cody comes out and he says, "I'm coming for you, Roman. I'm coming for you, but not at WrestleMania." And I'm like, what? And then here he comes, the beautiful Dwayne Johnson, and Cody called him. Cody called The Rock and said, "Hey, Dwayne, you got to take care of Roman." It's like,
Is that how you took it? I took it like The Rock approached Cody backstage and was like, bro, let me take Roman. Like, that's how I felt it went
so
down.
here's my thoughts. As much as I'm like, let me finish dunking on Cody. Cody Rhodes is a fucking. He is an absolute loser who you've embarrassed yourself. You've burned both ends of the candle. You built a following of fans, and you used them as a stepping stone to get to where you wanted to be all along, and it fucking backfired in your face. And I just want to let everyone know from the bottom of my heart, I have absolutely enjoyed and reveled in Cody Rhodes' career and dream, pun intended, uh, collapse before his eyes. Like, I've absolutely fucking loved it. Maybe don't be a disingenuous prick, and maybe more people will get behind you. I mean, like, you weren't going to be the guy there. You co-founded the company that they fucking despise. Like, they weren't going to just be like, "You're right, Cody. You're the next guy." Number one, he's too old, because the next guy that beats Roman is going to be the guy for the next 20 years. Probably Braun Breaker. Just saying.
Right.
And you know,
Good
and
choice.
at every stop along the way, Cody has done nothing but look like a fucking loser. Like, he wins the Royal Rumble and then ends up caving and not taking Roman. Like, the whole point was to go for Roman. It makes the loss at WrestleMania last year seem worse. It makes Cody winning the Rumble seem worse. Everything that Cody's done, it just makes it seem worse. And I was talking to someone, I can't remember exactly who, it was in the Discord, and I said, it might have been Juhas actually. The right thing to have done, if you were really going to go this route, was just have The Rock win the Rumble. Like, people would have been upset, but like, you go online and you see the most stark WWE defenders and fans, and they hate it. It's like we've reached a new level, right? And it's just like, I mean, hey man, it sounds like the WWE that I've known for the last 25 years. So I don't know.
That was
I
going
don't
to be
know
my
why.
question for you, though. So the last time I've seen the fan base get this like angry and upset was with Daniel Bryan. Do you think they flip it and somehow, still do the Cody thing? Do you think somehow we're getting swerved here now, or do you think they're gonna flip the script possibly?
Honestly, no. I think, like you said, even though Triple H is the booker, this is clearly something that Dwayne wants. And, hey, look, man, WWE, it's not a McMahon company anymore. It's officially not. This is officially TKO or, Endeavor, whatever you want to say. This is the WWE being run by different people. And this is going to be, in my opinion, the first major change. We've talked about like little changes here and there. This is going to be the first major change where no, the company is going to try to make the most money that they can now, and right now it's going to be The Rock is the draw there. Cody Rhodes is not a draw that The Rock is, and that's because of how WWE has booked themselves for the last 20 years. They've refused to make stars to the point where, like, yes, Dwayne The Rock Johnson is the biggest star they have. That has not changed.
Yeah.
And TKO, they just brought Rock onto the board. They are already, the reports are already saying that they're willing to make Rock pretty much head of creative. They have
Oh,
Brian
really?
Gerwitz. They have Brian Gerwitz back, and he's basically going to be The Rock's creative guy. So basically, like, The Rock is going to talk to Brian, and Brian's going to basically, like, he's there and doing the creative stuff. And if it does end up being where like The Rock takes over creative, Brian Gerwitz is like the first step in establishing that. There were reports of that today. I think it was PW Insider. I think came out with that.
Okay.
So on every level, it just looks stupid. Do I think they could swerve? I mean, like if they swerve, it's a terrible story. Like it's really bad because you've already gone this far down the road. You've already done the Cody backing off thing. You've already done Cody calling The Rock. You've already done, Roman's already buried that belt. Like, it's just like, it's just embarrassing. It's
Yeah.
embarrassing way to handle this.
And Nat says, don't forget, Rock is pushing to beat Roman, according to Fightful as well.
That was gonna be my next point, Nat. And honest to God, if The Rock wins the title at WrestleMania, amazing, incredible.
So here,
Sorry, good.
I was to say, so here's my swerve. So Cody beats Seth, right, on night one. He gets to main event still, and then somehow he like, winner takes all. Let me be in the triple threat for the other title. You think they'd be crazy enough to do that after splitting the titles like they did, or after combining them back and kind of creating a new one?
Honestly, I mean, I'm gonna be real with you. I think Cody.
You think Seth beats Cody?
Cody's beaten Seth 3 times on TV. I would be very surprised if they let Cody beat Seth again. I mean,
I
like,
would lose my mind if Seth beat Cody.
just
That'd be insane. I'd be
I don't know, man. It's just
out of
what I
my
think.
seat celebrating.
And I told you, like, Roman's not losing the belt anytime soon. Like, maybe at SummerSlam, Cody. Like, that's like the absolute earliest. But at that point, it's irrelevant. They've the thing about pro wrestling is that it's all about timing, and we've talked about this a lot. And Again, fair is fair.
Oh, they
I
definitely
will
missed
give.
it.
Oh yeah, for sure. But like, I'll always be fair. Like, if Tony Khan misses the boat on something, I will say it. And same thing goes with WWE. The boat is missed. The boat's gone.
Yeah.
Boat is the Titanic is already at sea and has already sunk. Like, it's over. You can give Cody the belt eventually. It doesn't mean anything. Like, wrestling is a funny thing because it's not just about the belt, it's about the moments that surround the belt. It's why, the WWE Championship doesn't just change hands on a Monday night. It's why the AEW World Championship doesn't just change hands on a collision. Like, it's all about the build and the moments that lead to the pinnacle of of the moment. And it's just
Wait,
they
Damian
fumbled.
Priest still has the Money in the Bank briefcase?
Yes, sir, and he does.
Oh, jeez.
He's not cashing in on Roman or Rock. So
No. Here's
take
probably
that
what's
for
gonna
what you
happen
will as
there.
well.
Good point, Mike.
So I mean, it's embarrassing. It's
Nat
completely
says
embarrassing.
Roman's gonna beat Sammartino's reign. That's another 1,000 days, isn't it?
Yeah, it's another 4 years. I'm telling you, that's what they're going for.
I think they're just gonna have him beat Hogan. They're just going after the modern records.
Hogan's not modern. Hogan was in the Jeff. I know you're like 90 years old, but
Yeah,
Hogan
but
was 85,
but
bro. What
when
are you
people
talking
think of wrestling, they think of Hogan. You know what I mean? Like they don't think of.
about? The person that you. It depends on the age of the person.
That's
You could
true.
ask people that are old enough, and a lot of them would probably say Bruno Sammartino.
That's true. But I mean,
We don't say Bruno Sammartino, but that's because I'm not 75.
yeah,
If I was, I probably would say Bruno Sammartino.
I got you. But yeah, man, I don't know what Cody's gonna do here. He looked absolutely heartbroken when whatever. What do you think The Rock whispered in his ear?
Get out of the ring, kid.
Get the fuck out of my ring,
Get,
kid.
get the fucking bricks, you fucking geek. Ah, love it. Oh
Oh,
my
dude.
god, it's such a great moment. I'm so at right. Like, here's the thing. I'm convinced that CM Punk is a sleeper agent because how fucking crazy is the domino effect of Jack Perry saying "Cry me a river" and the dominoes fall and they fall and they fall, and those dominoes lead to Cody Rhodes no longer main eventing WrestleMania.
That shit's
Isn't
wild, dude.
isn't that just insane? Like, look, it's just it's crazy to me. They've gone out of their way and to make Cody look like a geek and his credibility's finished, and people are going to complain about it, and like, there's been the hashtags, there's been people upset about Cody, and apparently there was a house show tonight and they played the Rock video and the Rock got booed by the crowd. Listen, man, I'm going to tell you right now, this WWE crowd that remains, um, they don't have the balls. They don't have the balls to do what we did for Daniel Bryan back at WrestleMania 10 years.
Yeah.
We don't. They don't. They just straight up don't. They are a very complacent crowd who are going to take what they're given and they're going to learn to like it. That's the precedent that fan base has set for the company. It's funny because in video games right now there's a big discussion going on about competition and how important competition. It's like, well, and I use WWE as an example over there, where it was just like, WCW went out of business in 2000, 2001, whatever, and then WWE went on a 20-year run, for the most part with zero competition, zero relevant competition. And that let them get complacent, and that let the fans would be like, well, what else am I going to fucking,
Yeah.
the fans that were willing to get upset about Daniel Bryan 10 years ago, they don't watch the product. They watch AEW. They watch other things. They've learned that there is a wrestling landscape outside of WWE. I think of this fan base, which, by the way, the fan base is extremely cringe to have justice for Cody hashtags a week after a fucking Vince McMahon sex trafficking investigation comes out. Man, bold choice, really bold choice. But
I think
embarrassing. It's embarrassing.
somebody made a point on Discord that, I think it was you actually, maybe, that they would much rather people talk about Cody and Rock than Vince right now.
Oh, absolutely. This is intentional. It's 100% intentional, and I'm sure TKO is very happy with The Rock, and it's also why I don't think they're changing the plan. They want the heat off of the Vince story as much as they can. TMZ reported on how fans are unhappy about The Rock taking Cody's spot. TMZ legitimately reported on it today. I 100% would bet money that story was fed to them by WWE. Like,
Yeah.
it is absolutely propaganda from them. They want the fans to be mad about who's main eventing WrestleMania. But you know what? On the bright side, I guarantee you that federal prosecutors do not care who is main eventing WrestleMania. Just like, so, yeah, go ahead. I know that Sean Ross Sapp, he was in a Twitter space today. He said that the mainstream media is not forgetting about this. Like, they're like, sure, the fan base and wrestling media may have forgotten, but Sean Ross Sapp did say today that like he's working and cooperating with many mainstream media outlets because they're trying to get like the trustworthy like news and scoops with
Yeah.
wrestling and like who to trust. So he wouldn't say who, but he said multiple mainstream media outlets. It's not going away.
I saw a thing that I can't confirm, but it looked like it was like from the prosecutor's office that's handling what's going on. And they were like,
Mhm.
we're being flooded with other reports from other people. And I'm like, whoa. So it's starting to come out the woodworks now, if that's true.
It's that was the lawyer who started the
Yes.
case.
Yes. The
Yeah,
lawyer. Yes.
yeah, the lawyer that's suing
Not the
WWE.
prosecutor, the
Um,
lawyer. Thank you.
and yeah, and there's a lot of stuff going on, and it's all wonderful. It like John Laurinaitis, he's going into self-preservation mode, which as he should. The feds
Dude.
are involved. Hey, look, man, like I'm not saying one thing or the other about what his role was in that, but that's how you know. Like the fact that Laurinaitis and his lawyer come out and they're not denying the claims, but they're saying, "Hey, we're victims. He's a victim too."
Yeah.
That's all you need
That's.
to know. That's all
Oh.
you need to know right there. This isn't something where it's like we could fight this. This is bullshit. It's not true. No, Laurinaitis is like to his lawyer, "Get me out of this. Do your job." And the lawyer's like, "All right, well, here's what's gonna happen." And I know Nat was kind of crapping on it, but like, look, man, like that's how this works. He's going to cooperate with the feds. He's gonna Laurinaitis. Laurinaitis is gonna cooperate with the
Yeah.
investigation. He's gonna cooperate with the lawyers. He's gonna do whatever he can to make sure that he makes some sort of deal with them where like he does not go to prison for the rest of it. And you're gonna see it. You're gonna see all the rats are gonna start turning on each other. It's gonna be beautiful. It's gonna be something I'm gonna sit back in my chair and I'm just gonna serves them all right. Serve that
TK,
entire company right.
when this is all said and done, like it sounds like the problem was systematic throughout the whole freaking place now. I
Yeah,
mean, TKO is gonna have to clean house.
absolutely. It's a culture problem. Like, and again, like there are just some people who are delusional. Like, do you really think that Vince just like nobody knew that Vince was doing these things? Like, you're
Oh
naive
no,
and
yeah,
you're an
they
idiot.
had to know.
Like again, like Triple H, that dude. Look, man. There was a quote from a mainstream star, or a major star in wrestling, where he was like, "I think it's Mox." If you go back and you find the quote, it sounds like Mox talking. That's just, but
Yeah,
it's basically like Triple H is the all-time politicker. This guy screwed the boss's daughter, like did everything he had to do to get to the top. You know, despite being an average slash mediocre wrestler. Um, this dude was rubbing elbows with everybody. Do you really think he had no idea what was going on? No.
there's no
So
shot.
they're gonna clean house. They're gonna get rid of a lot of the people. Yeah, Kook, he was corporate officer number one. But they're gonna get rid of a lot of those people that were there from that regime. It's probably why Kevin Dunn got out, to be honest. The writing's on the walls, and them changing who's main eventing WrestleMania doesn't matter. But so this, my friends, and like I talk a lot about perception. I'm a big perception, right? this is the pendulum swinging, because we've talked a lot about
Yeah.
how AEW's perception, wasn't in the best spot, and WWE was on fire, and they were just couldn't do no wrong. Here we are. This is the perception game getting flipped back, where WWE, like, they're in the mud. Like, whether you love it or you hate it or whatever, it doesn't matter. It's factual. A lot of the people in the company are about to get, swept out. The sex trafficking thing, the WrestleMania main event with Rock, like, there's
Booking.
no winning for them at this point. No matter what they do, there's no winning. And you see AEW on the flip side is like, hey, look, like, there's still some storylines that I think are very dumb in the company, but they're turning it around. They signed Brian Keith tonight, which is great. They're going to
That was
announce
awesome.
this big Mercedes Dynamite on the 13th on Wednesday. Okada's probably coming in as well. They're doing great business. AEW is doing great business right now. So that's how it goes, man. It's a game of perception.
So this is the first time in history that a McMahon has not been involved with the WWE in some way, shape, or form. You think there's any shot of them getting Stephanie back?
No, I think that TKO is going to look at this situation here and be like, we need to wipe our hands clean of that entire part of the company's history in
Yeah.
terms of ownership. Like, you're not going to see a McMahon ever again. My prediction is you're never going to see another McMahon associated with WWE on screen ever again.
Yeah, I doubt it.